CCS 101.1 FM. Dick Clawson's in the room. You know you're going to have a good time. And he's here as part of the contingent that Keith McCracken has brought with him from the Indiana County Technology Center, ICTC. Wait a second. Keith McCracken, isn't that the Keith McCracken who's celebrating a birthday today?
Yes, sir, it is. Double fives. Sammy Hagar, I can't drive, 55. So,
man, oh, Thanks, man, Tom. Are you old? Dick, do you remember even being 55?
No, sir. I don't remember that. Not at all.
All right. Well, Keith, we've introduced Dick. Who else do you have with you today?
We've got Chris Shirley, the masonry instructor from ICTC, and he's also in charge of the student chapter of the Home Builders Association. So with the home show coming up and with our advisory meetings coming up at the school, we just thought these two guys would be great to bring together. I know in a minute I'm going to step back and let them go. So I just want to introduce them. They have a lot to talk about and a lot to inform your listeners about.
All right. Well, let's indeed talk to them. Dick Clawson is with us from the Indiana Armstrong Builders Association, and Chris Shirley. Well, gentlemen, big show coming up this weekend, huh?
Absolutely. The place is all turned into an exposition hall now. We've got a few booths built last night, and everybody's going to roll in today and tomorrow and get it built.
Well, if you need help from a contractor, I know where you could find one.
Well, we can find a lot of them.
Okay.
They're pretty testy. They don't let anybody else. They don't like anybody to touch their stuff. So the ICTC is going to get rolling on their booth, and looking forward to that. They've been a mainstay at our home show for the last 18 years, and do a great job.
Chris, what are we looking at from ICTC in their display?
Well, we're going to highlight the construction trades.
Pull that up a little bit there.
We're going to highlight the construction trades.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to have a couple of concrete products that my program sells, a couple of projects that carpentry, electrical, and HVAC are working on. They're building a modular, so we're going to have a couple of pictures of that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just a great way for our construction students to see all the new products that are coming out, and with all the booths there, and a way to make connections with the local builders and hopefully lead to some employment opportunities for them in the summertime.
Yeah, we ought to get the welders and the masonry students in the carpentry program to fix that mic stand, huh? So it would stand up for you. But your students actually do work with many of the members of the Indiana Armstrong Builders Association.
Yes, they do. We actually have something coming up here at the Windy Ridge Development this spring.
A wonderful project for the Indiana County Development Corporation. They're going to be manufacturing a walking bridge over some wet waters that we have there, and we're going to introduce the kids to some new decking type product that will be built at the center and then put it on a trailer and take it down and install it.
Now, Dick, I know that with ICTC members participating with the Indiana Armstrong Builders Association, it benefits the builders and the contractors to be able to get and to use ICTC students as a resource. But it also is a benefit to the ICTC students, isn't it?
Absolutely. Get some good hands-on actual real work situations. When times are busy, we do, some of our guys do use co-op, and Keith's involved in the co-op and on-the-job training. Keith, you want to explain how that works?
Well, we have a couple kids out right now, but what will usually happen is that the student has some kind of relationship with the contractor already, and they'll come in and say, hey, can I go on co-op? Well, then we check the grades, the attendance, those kind of things that kids get edgy about us checking, but we should. So we go through that, and then we'll try to hook them up for up to 4 days a week. When we're working with the contractors, we also understand that sometimes they can get into a place and sometimes they can't.
Mm-hmm.
So we have kids out for maybe 1 day this week and 4 days next week. So we're willing to work with them because we understand the nature of their business. And I think the more we do that, the more cooperative we get with one another, the more opportunities that both sides will have in this. So It's worked out very well.
Chris, tell us a little bit about how the kids, by working with contractors and with the Indiana Armstrong Builders Association, what are some of the benefits that they get out of it?
Well, one of the biggest benefits is I went through the co-op program, so it's how I got my start.
Mm-hmm.
So it's how these guys can get their start, and who knows, unlimited potential there.
Yeah.
As far as placement and opportunities.
Yeah, it's one of the things about it is they get great educational value out of it, and as Dick said, you make a contact with the person you're working for there or at the show coming up this weekend, maybe with a couple of others, and you've got yourself an in on a job, and there are going to be a lot of construction jobs coming up.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So, and you're talking masonry, you're talking carpentry. Any number of fields, electricians, and they need them all.
Yeah. Yeah, the construction industry is hurting to replace those folks that are retiring.
Yeah. All right. Well, Dick Clawson, the Indiana Armstrong Builders Association Home Show is always a fabulous event, and one of the, you've got Robins coming back, you've got baseball in Florida, and you got the home show. That means spring is just about here.
Absolutely, and our guys are looking forward to being able to interact with the public when they want to come and talk about projects. Last year, 2 people walked in with blueprints and passed them around.
Oh, yeah.
And we're ready to jump on it. Absolutely. One thing we need to talk about, and Keith, I'll let you talk about the trade endorsement program that we do.
The trade endorsement program.
Well, actually, what I'm absolutely certain of is that Dick was excited to make an announcement. So I don't know how much of his thunder I want to steal or preempt, but so I really am just going to turn it right back over to Dick and let him do this. This is his. He's been smiling about.
What's required by
Oh boy! You're
Well,
like
PD.
you guys are like the chipmunks on.
Chip and Dale.
No, you.
Leave us together; it'll get worse. I promise.
I couldn't. I insist.
Okay, well, what's required? Pennsylvania Department of Education requires that every trade, every class, the education program at the Technology Center has some form of a formal professional endorsement. Okay. And in the automotive technology, there's a PPG training, there's a certification. In the technology, there's a load of technology degrees or so on to get. Well, Pennsylvania Builders Association has an accepted trade endorsement program. And all 4 of the trades programs at the Technology Center, HVAC, electrical, carpentry, and masonry, received a 3-year endorsement. And I'm proud to give the gentleman the paperwork on this.
There you go.
So they can, it's the official paperwork that they're endorsed for 3 more years.
File that away there, Keith, will you?
I got it. This is one I will be very happy to file away, but I am absolutely certain I got to turn it over to Mr. Palmer and Mr. McDermott first. They'll be quite happy to see this.
Oh, I would guess. It does mean a lot, though, Keith, doesn't it, to get this sort of an endorsement, because it means that you're meeting the standards that are required by the pros.
Exactly, and what it means more than that, and I don't care what program we're talking about, whether it's an ATEF in auto or Dick mentioned PPG in our collision repair, there's Serve Safe in culinary. What it means is that we've had someone who's in the business, who's not just in the business, but who looks at the business globally and decides whether or not they've got what it takes to do this and whether they're doing it right. So in this case, the PBA endorsement means that we had professionals come in. Professionals who are active come in, take a look at what we're doing and say, yes, this looks good. We're really pleased. And so that's what Dick was leading to with this. But in any program we have, we constantly want the input from the community that we're working in. And then this goes one step beyond it, because it's the state coming in and saying as well that we're doing a good job and we're doing exactly what we need to do to fill the gap that's coming up in these skill areas.
I know that in your role at ICTC, the ability to work with pros in the field, doesn't matter if it's with this particular field or any of them, cosmetology, the culinary arts, the ability to work with and to get the endorsement of people like that means that the educators at ICTC are doing the job.
Yeah, if you come in the building, Todd, we're real pleased with what we do, and I think we've got just a crack staff. When you walk through there, everybody is up, everybody is on, and everybody is dedicated to getting the best we can out of the programs, out of the students, and out of the people who want to be involved with what we're doing. So we're real pleased with that. I mean, this one today is a real nice one to not just file away, but to set up and look at and be proud of. So. And I think that's what it comes down to. Every single instructor has a bit of pride that they carry with them in what they do, and that just translates right over to the kids. You can feel it from the students who are in the programs. A couple weeks ago, we talked about Mike Miller, if you remember, and he's not alone. Every program instructor up there is really doing the best they can for their kids and then their community as well.
Keith McCracken with us from ICTC, Dick Clawson from the Indiana Armstrong Builders Association, Chris Shirley. Has an affiliation with both ICTC and with the Indiana Armstrong Builders Association. Talk about that connection with the Builders Association from the ICTC angle.
Well, that evaluation that we just went through here and got, it's just another feather in the student's cap. so that when they do leave us, when they graduate, it's just another thing they can place on their resume, and it's another.
I would guess that the participation and the exhibit by ICTC gives these students exposure to the public as well, and helps them to actually make a presentation to the public so that and they represent ICTC, and that has to help them.
Oh, absolutely. We do have a couple of students that stop by during the home show, take a look at the booth. When they're there, they may answer a couple questions, but it does get the public aware of what they're doing up there.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Well, the home show is coming up this weekend. Dick Clawson is a very, very busy man. And Dick, I'm glad that you came in with this group, because it means I don't have to drag you in here and try to track you
Next
down.
call will be for baseball.
For later that's what it'll be next time, huh? How many exhibitors do you have this week?
We've got 102 exhibitors, 135 booths.
Wow.
And we've got 12 new exhibits, new businesses, a couple new businesses in town are in there, and then our solid guys have been there for 38 years.
And for folks who have never been to the home show, just to see the wide array of businesses that are represented at the home show is one thing, but a bunch of these, there are all kinds of things they're giving. They're always giving away prizes and consultations and materials to help you hone in on what you'd like for your project at home. But there are a lot of things to see and to do at the home show.
Absolutely, and then if you've got some questions, we've got the technical people there to handle it. The lumber yards have their people there, and we've got some very, very interesting new flooring applications that can go right over concrete and be in damp locations and not have any problems.
Yeah, how about that? So those are a couple of the highlights. And there are even, I know, in the past anyway, there have been banking institutions there that can help you to finance.
Absolutely. Talk about, give you rates and tell you exactly what you need.
Yeah. Well, it's a great time. It's a wonderful exhibit, and it's at the S&T Bank Arena coming up this weekend. We're so looking forward to it. Gentlemen, I know, Mr. Clawson, you've got to get back out there and put on the nail apron and get to work, right?
Oh, I wear a hard hat.
Yeah.
Supervise.
It's a white hard hat?
Yes, sir. White one. These guys know I don't get my hands dirty.
Yeah, you probably don't even wear the steel-toed boots ananymore, do you?
No, sir. No, sir. Mine are still pretty shiny for the last time I wore them.
There you go. Well, those ICTC students, they are wearing their steel toes.
They sure do. And they got a good safety program. Before the kids even touch any of the tools, they've become educated on how to safely handle the tools. When our guys, we've got every craft has a craft committee. As a matter of fact, all the committees should be meeting on Thursday night to go over what's going on in the industry and give advice to the instructors and let them know what tools, what things they need to know, and what they should be looking forward to, and the what's changed over since the last time we met.
And pass out the safety glasses, gentlemen.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much for coming in to visit with us. We do appreciate it.
Thank you, Todd.
Hey, happy birthday, Keith.
Hey, thanks again, Todd.
It is Indiana in the Morning, presented as always by First Commonwealth Bank here on AM 1160 WCCS, 101.1 FM, 757 and a half. And Fox News coming next at the top of the hour.